What's up everybody, I'm Fearless, and this is everything creative that I did this week. And we're starting with some horse-related thingy-majings because recently I found myself obsessing over them. I don't know if it's like the year of the horse or the hype around Steelboard Run, but these creatures have consumed my mind. Have you guys seen those 0.5 pictures of them? Yeah. To be fair, I've always loved the Western aesthetic, but it has definitely intensified as I've gotten older. So, as any sane person would, I made a bunch of stuff related to horses. I started off by tracing an image that I found on Pinterest, but making it my style. I have this old leather jacket that I thrifted around 3 years ago. I wear it a bunch, but I've always felt like there was something missing. And, well, given my recent obsession, I have decided to put a horse on the back of it. I used that design as a reference and freehanded it onto the jacket using one of those white gel pens that almost never work. If you know, you know. Surprisingly though, it seemed to work great on leather, and since doing this it has yet to chip off. I have no idea if this will actually stay on or not, but so far it seems to be so good. As for the result, it could definitely be better. The proportions are a tad off, but I do like the look of it, and since I like how it turned out so much, I'm going to continue to horse around. One of the things that always looked cool to me, but I always failed at, is lino printing, so I decided to give it one more chance and just lock in. I took my horse drawing, traced it out on paper, and after using transfer paper, I got the design onto the lino block. That's what I think they're called anyways. I got to carving the design. This was a difficult and tedious process, but I did find it enjoyable even though my hand was cramping at the end of it. I repeated this process 2 more times because I wanted the prints to look like a carousel or something. Like, side note, you know those old school spinny animations of horses? I think this would make a really sick tattoo around like your armor or something. Someday I might get that. But with that being said, the carving was finished. And these little guys needed a home. I recently thrifted a pair of vintage jeans which needed to be hemmed. So I got to doing that. And fun fact, the tag says that they're manufactured in Brighton, which I find really neat. But anyways, I ended up using the excess fabric that I cut off the pants for the lino prints, and I turned them into little patches. Then I went ahead and glued them on the pants. Someday I will sew them on, but for now, this is the finished product. Now then, let's move away from horses and take a look at my sketchbook. There's this page that I don't like, and I'm the type of person who loses motivation if their sketchbook isn't aesthetically pleasing, so I'm covering this page with black ink. However, a plain black page is boring, and recently I found myself really enjoying embroidering on paper, which is perfect because I have these sashiko samples from an old university project that I want to preserve because an ungodly amount of work went into them. So, I took some tape and secured them onto the paper and got to sewing them on. After I finished with that page, I went ahead and covered a different one with black ink. I'm a tad bit of a perfectionist, but I'm working on it. Ironically enough, I didn't like the blacked out page either, so I cut it up. With stuff like this, you just have to trust the process. One of the things I found myself really enjoying recently is collaging, so that's exactly what I did. I covered a page with a chocolate wrap because I found the packaging to be really charming. I love the font of the logo and the use of colors. I then glued in a quick doodle I did of Freya the night prior, and then I got out my sticker stash and started going ham. I have quite the extensive collection of stickers that I'm scared to use because I'm scared I'll waste them, which is sad because I think stickers are meant to be used and shared, and I'm glad I used them because they added so much charm and whimsy to the page that it would have otherwise lacked. And so, here's how the pages ended up looking like. They're not the most detailed pieces in my sketchbook, but they add a lot of character to it, and I'm really happy with how they ended up looking in the broader context. I did a whole lot of upcycling my clothes this week, including this green hoodie, which is one of my most worn pieces, and it's incredibly comfortable. But I had to stop wearing it out because, like 90% of my other clothes, it is covered in paint stains. But there is nothing that patches can't fix. So I drew up some tomatoes, which, fun fact, is my favorite fruit. After finalizing the design, I marked it out on old thrifted clothes using a heat-sensitive pen and then cut everything out, arranged it in the correct places, and sewed everything on, which is not as easy as it sounds. If this was a hoodie made from scratch, the applique process would happen before the sewing all the parts together, but I do not own a sewing machine that works with knitted fabrics, and I don't have a needle for it currently. And also, I didn't want to take on the task of taking the hoodie apart and putting it back together, so I ended up sewing in some very awkward positions, which costed me quite a bit of time. So forgive me for the sewing tangent. I hope it was at least informative and somewhat interesting. But no matter how annoying I found the process, I absolutely love the final result. Now I can wear this hoodie out again, and I've gotten plenty of compliments on it, which is always nice. And that's it for what I did this week. Thank you guys so much for watching.